Everyone is muted. Yes, I've only had one person, I think you guys have heard this story before, who's fallen off her bike twice. And it was because she had a malfunction in one of the legs of the trainer. And we couldn't figure out why she kept falling off her trainer until I figured out what was happening. And it was because one of the legs was not functioning properly. So therefore, she kept falling off. So it was kind of funny in a way. She got really good at it. I kept putting her on the end, and she would fall not towards everybody, but towards the other side. So if she fell that way, it would have been like the domino effect. Everybody would have fallen. So that would have been pretty funny. So fortunately, that didn't happen. So that's a good thing. So today, as I said to you guys in the email, we're going to work solely on endurance today. And that means we're only going to do one kind of hard effort at the beginning, because I want those of you who do not have registered zones to kind of get a sense of what that means to be in an endurance zone. So the endurance zone is your zone 3, or a zone that you can pretty much stay in for a pretty long time. So if I were to ask you what your lactate threshold is, which means your lactate threshold is when your body starts to actually build up lactic acid. That time frame, you can hold your lactic threshold for an hour. Anything below that, you can hold for a long period of time. It just depends on what kind of endurance you have or what kind of fitness you have. So today, nothing's going to feel super hard except for initially. And here's what I want you guys that may not know your zones, but you have a heart rate monitor and you have it on. Just a little tip about heart rate straps and heart rate monitors. You should be washing your strap, if you use it on a regular basis, at least once a week. How do you do that? Take a little bowl of water. If you have one that has the centerpiece that comes off, take that piece off. Put some detergent. You can even use liquid detergent like dishwasher soap. Put that in. Mix it around. Put your strap inside there. Let it soak for a little bit. Get all those salt molecules out of there. Hang it up to dry. Put the clip back on and put it back on and use it. So by washing it, it gives it a better contact area and allows it to work. Another thing that you should be doing when you put your strap on, you should be dousing it with water, putting it under your faucet, and then putting it on. Of course, that's the worst feeling, having a cold strap go on your body, but that helps to conduct and allows it to work and function. So sometimes if you're putting your strap on and it's not working, it could be that it just needs some moisture. So make sure you're doing that also, just to give it a good sense of what you got. Then the other thing is, when you're using your heart rate as an indicator, of course, heart rate is a delayed reaction. So if I said to you do a 1-minute effort at a certain heart rate, it might take you 30 seconds to get there. So today, through this workout, that's what you're going to determine. We're going to do different levels of efforts of different lengths, but they're going to be very short periods of rest in between. So you're going to notice what we're looking for is for that heart rate to stay very consistent throughout a 30-minute effort. And remember, it doesn't have to be hard. If you feel yourself breathing heavily, If you feel your legs burning massively, then you've gone too hard. And you either need to shift to an easier gear or change your cadence slightly. But the key to today is I want everybody for that 30-minute period to average about a 90 cadence. So your 90 cadence is going to be your metric for that section. I'm going to give you gear selections during that section. The other thing I want you to do is, if you're not hitting those heart rates or those rates of perceived exertion, I'll talk about that in a second, then you need to do something to change the metric. Shift to an easier gear, shift to a harder gear, increase your cadence, but your bottom line cadence is going to be 90. So at first, it's going to be really hard to figure this out. The first couple of efforts, you're going to be like, it's not getting there. It'll settle in. Plus the body's getting warmed up. So the first effort that we do, for those of you that do not have heart rate zones established yet, we're going to do a 5-minute effort where we're going to jack the heart rate up a little bit. What I want you to pay attention to is what you see. I want you to put in your brain whatever is the maximum heart rate you see during that 5-minute period. Then we're going to use that number to determine what number you should be at for the 30-minute endurance section. So you're going to take that max heart rate and you're going to subtract about 15 beats from it. And that's going to be the heart rate kind of gauge that you're going to use during that 30-minute effort. All right? So we've gotten in a good warm-up. How many of you guys were on earlier than 7 and got in a few miles? Good. Okay. A few of you. I like that. That's good. That gives you some good warm-up time. Keeps you going. Gets you even more ready. So this first effort, you guys have seen this before. Any of you have done a heart rate test with me in the past? We do this to get warmed up for the heart rate test. So we're going to do a 5-minute effort. And this is the only time today where you're going to really get your heart rate up higher than a zone 3. Because we want to determine, for those people in the room that don't have a heart rate yet, where they should be for the rest of the workout. Okay? And I see you laughing at that, Elizabeth Ann, that don't have a heart rate yet, right? We all have heart rates, I think. Our hearts are beating. All right. Let me turn on my fan. And let's get the party started. All right. So everybody's going to be small ring, 13. So that means you're going to go all the way down to the smallest cog and shift up 1. So all the way down to the hardest gear you have and shifting up 1. We're going to be 5 seconds standing, 5 seconds seated. We're doing this for 5 minutes. Remember, pay attention to those heart rates. 3, 2, 1. Standing. Have your music blasting if you need it. Seated. Standing. This is going to go fast. Seated. We're really trying to get the heart rate to come up. Get you even more. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing, 1 minute down. Seated. Standing, heart rate should start coming up. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. 2 minutes down. 3 to go. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Pay attention to those heart rates. Seated. Standing. Seated. We're looking for your heart rate to jack up. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. 3 minutes in. 2 to go. Come on now, the heart's working. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. 4 minutes. 1 to go, 1 to go. Standing. Seated. Standing. Seated. Pay attention to those heart rates. Standing. Seated. Standing. When you sit down, do it smoothly. Seated. Standing. Almost there, almost there. Seated. In this last 15 seconds, really pay attention to that heart rate. Standing. Seated. Keep looking at your heart rate. 3, 2, 1. Keep looking at your heart rate. Shift down to an easy gear. Pay attention to the highest number you see. Fix that number in your head. And for those of you that don't have heart rate zones, so for those of you like Earl and Lillian and anybody else that has their heart rate data, Shannon, Glenn, Wayne, I want you guys using the heart rate data that we've established for the heart rate test. Everybody else, take that max number that you saw and subtract 15 beats from it. That's the number that I want you to use for this main set. So right now you're in an easy gear. You're spinning the legs easy, taking a drink. All right, so here's how our pyramid 30 minutes of endurance is going to go. So this workout's going to be an hour long, just so you have that in your head. So 30 minutes of it, we've already done 20. 30 minutes of it is going to be this nice pyramid. So how this pyramid is going to go. It's going to go 1 minute, 30 seconds easy. 2 minutes, 30 seconds easy. 3, 30 seconds easy. 4, 30, 5, 30. Then we're going to go back down the ladder. And the key to all of this is holding that zone 3 heart rate or power. And I want you, those of you that know yours, I want you to go into about the middle of zone 3. And if you're reaching, those of you that are using heart rate, if you're getting 5 beats or even 10 beats over the number, then you need to back it down. So here's how I want you to back it down. All of this, as I said earlier, 90 cadence. Everybody, I'm going to give you gearing recommendations. If you need to shift to an easier gear to hold that 90, you may. But the key to today is holding 90 in those heart rate zones. That's the key to today. So this is what people tend to do. Their heart rate isn't working right and they start going like this. And they're barely pedaling. So as soon as you start barely pedaling, your heart rate goes, wah. I want you to hold on to that 90 and use your gears to dial it in. It's all about effort level. And our gears are what create the effort level, right? So if we're in a harder gear, we're going to take more effort. So use that effort level to dial this in. All right. And know that heart rate is a delayed reaction. So you know that heart rate is going to take a little bit of time for it to happen. If you're using a power meter, it happens instantaneously. So the first effort's 1 minute long. It might take you a little while to dial it in, but that's okay. So I want you to do big ring, 23. So if you have a 28 at the top, 25, 23. So you're 2 gears down from your largest cog in the back. And you're in your big ring. Ran. 90 for a minute. 90 for a minute. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. Let the heart rate move into the zone. Remember, if the legs are burning, you're going too hard. Holding on to it. Concentrate on seeing that heart rate change as we go through this minute. 30 seconds to go. Nice, comfortable bodies. Relaxed shoulders. Little bent elbows. Upper body is nice and still. Only the legs are moving. Who's dialed in? Good. 3, 2, 1. Shift down a few gears. Then to your small ring. Then back up to the easiest gear. 30 seconds easy. But while you're throwing 30 seconds easy, I still want you holding that 90 cadence. We want to hold that heart rate kind of consistent through this. Next effort's going to be 2 minutes. Same gear. Find that big ring, that 23, 3, 2, 1, right at 90. Dial it back in. If you need to shift up, to an easier gear, that's fine. But hold that 90. Keep that heart rate right in zone 3. Shouldn't feel hard. Should actually feel kind of comfortable. If the legs are tired from yesterday, that's another thing, which might be the case for some of you. I know I got in my 2 hours and 31 miles on the trainer. So that was good. That's kind of been my consistent weekends. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I've been getting in 100-mile+ weeks since this all started. So you're keeping track of your mileage. It's a good thing to do. 1 minute's down, 45 seconds to go. Keep it dialed in. Be patient. Everybody looks like they're right onto that 90 cadence. I love it. 30 seconds here. Now you might start noticing that you're going to sweat a lot for this workout. That's because this is your fat burning zone. Woo! Gonna burn off some fat today. Listen, thing, giving a thumbs up. Again, shifting down a few gears harder to your small ring, back up to that easiest gear. Why am I doing that? Because I don't want you dropping your chain. You go from the big ring to the small ring, from that gear, you might drop your chain. So by shifting to a couple of harder gears, then going to the small ring, makes it easier and makes it cleaner. So we're up to 3 minutes coming your way. So 3 minutes is going to be small ring, 19. So small ring, oops, then my big ring. You're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be around your 19. If that feels like it's wrong, you can always shift up or down. 3, 2, 1, 90. Right in that zone 3. 3 minutes here. I love the fact that people are like looking at their watches, concentrating with their heads down. And hopefully everybody's got cadence so you can get your legs going. So when we hit the 1 minute mark, we can do the right leg test for those of you that don't have a cadence monitor. That means that you're going to count every time your right leg comes up for 30 seconds, and then you're going to multiply that by 2. Didn't know you're going to have to do so much math today. Should have told you to bring your calculator. All right, here we go. For those who are counting. 1. I'm at 100. Hope you guys multiplied that by 2. This is 3 minutes. If you feel yourself breathing hard, you can barely talk, then you're going too hard. Today's easy on me, too, because I don't have to worry about my heart rate being so high. 2 minutes down. 1 to go. Who's dialed in? Give me a thumbs up. I love it. Everybody's got a thumbs up. Now here's something to consider. If you rode hard or worked in the yard yesterday or didn't hydrate properly, you might be tired and your heart rate might not be going anywhere today. That's an indicator. Our heart talks to us to let us know, hey, nope, I can't do this today. I worked too hard yesterday. So that's when you know you got to either dial it down even more or turn it off completely. 3, 2, 1, easy gear. 30 seconds. Nice and easy. Still hold 90. You should be in an easy gear. So we have to pay attention to our heart rates because they really are the indicator of where we are with tired, fresh. Randy took the day off yesterday. He rode this morning. He was like, wow, the day off does a real treat. You feel really better, so much better when you take that day off. All right, up to 4 minutes. Same gears last time. Small ring, 1, 2, 3, 4 gears down. 3, 2, 1, 4 minutes. Right back to 90. So the other thing I want you guys to pay attention to, now that we're getting into the longer efforts, when you get your heart rate up to that perfect number, and we do that 30 seconds of easy, look at your watch and see where that heart rate's going. Is it dropping significantly or is it staying where it is? This is a measure of our fitness. When you decrease the intensity, how quickly does your heart rate recover? The faster you recover, the better off you are, the more fitter you are. Keep that in mind. The other thing about heart rate, everybody's heart rate is different. My max is 180 and your max is 160. Doesn't mean I'm fitter than you. It's like a fingerprint. Everybody has a different maximum heart rate. I raced with a girl whose max heart rate was 210. Yowts. That means that her zone 3 was like 175. That's some people's max. Some people don't even get to that. But everybody's different. So that's why you need to do a real heart rate test, which I might consider doing virtually if there's interest. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes to go. Are you still in the heart rate zone? Are you still holding 90? Have you taken a drink of water? Hydration will definitely affect your heart rate. So make sure you're drinking throughout this 30 minutes. And everybody's sweating. Part of it is because there's lots of humidity in the air. And part of it is because you're in zone 3. So know that when you typically go on a club ride, group ride, depending on the ride, most of the time you're sitting in zone 3. Unless you're climbing, of course. Unless you have somebody in the group that's really pushing the pace. Almost there. 30 seconds. Stay consistent. I love it. Work on your body position. If you feel yourself slouching, sit up from your hips. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. 30 seconds easy. Keeping that cadence nice and consistent. Take a drink. This is your drink time in this 30 seconds. So the other thing about this time frame is, do you eat before you come here, or do you not eat? You should be eating something, because your blood sugar level goes down. Heading up, 5 minutes. Small ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same gear as the last one. Right back into it. 3, 2, 1. 90 cadence. Dial it right back into zone 3. So think about it. And this is where you have to think about your hydration too. When you go to sleep, you're sleeping for 6 to 8 hours, hopefully. Some people are maybe sleeping 4. So during that time frame, in a regular day, in 6 hours, when do you not drink anything for 6 hours? And when do you not eat anything for 6 hours? So your body's completely depleted when you wake up in the morning. It needs hydration, and you need to bring your blood sugar level back up. 1 minute down, 4 to go. This is the longest effort. So when you wake up, and obviously if you're doing a workout, if you're swimming, if you're a triathlete, figure that out. Because swimming, definitely, you can be somebody who's good at having something to eat. And some people are like, no way, man. Jen's shaking her head because she's a big time swimmer. Can't eat anything. So the stomach's in a different position. The body's working differently. So that one you really have to gauge. For this, I actually had an orange and a banana and a full bottle of water before we started. So I'm getting a little bit of potassium, a little bit of vitamin C. 2 minutes down, 3 to go. Jacking up my blood sugar level a little bit. And then, of course, I have my electrolyte mix in here. So all those factors play into this. It's not just about your fitness. It's about what you do before, during, and after. I see people are really starting to sweat now. That's a good thing. That means you're in the right zone. If you weren't sweating a lot, you might be in too high of a zone. Right at 90, right at zone 3. You should feel good, comfortable, not sucking air, but just letting it happen naturally. 3 minutes down, 2 to go. You get that short break, that short 30 seconds. So during these efforts, if you're somebody that has a problem drinking while you're riding, practice it here. You can literally grab the bottle And I don't even have to stop pedaling. Come straight up to your mouth and straight back down. And if you notice, I didn't look at my cage. Because if you look down in a group, oops, that person stopped in front of me. 4 minutes down. One more to go. Then we're going to go back down the ladder. So work on things right now that you might struggle with. Be it nutrition, hydration, just drinking, body posture. 30 more seconds. Who's right in that zone? Give me the thumbs up. Nice. So those people that we did a calculation for, do you feel like you're in the right zone? Yes? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Nice, easy gear. Spin the legs 30 seconds. All right, we're coming back down. I should see everybody with their water bottle up to their mouth right now. Four minutes. 4 minutes coming up. We're going to stay in that small ring. And again, 4 gears down. 3, 2, 1. 4 gears down. Now it's all about just fitness. The stamina for the body to continue to go this way. 4 minutes, 3, 2, and 1 left. So you have 10 minutes worth of efforts. I want you to really pay attention to how good you feel. That's a real indicator. Find yourself getting tall from your hips. I think I had you guys do this once before. Everybody sit up. Feel yourself settle into your saddle. Then I want you to hold that position with your hips and go to your bars, keeping your hips where they are. Good. I always know if I'm doing okay because I can see my double star. If I start to get lazy, I go here. As soon as I get my hips right, I'm right here. So notice that position for yourself. You'll feel then the glutes and the hamstrings working a little differently. Our glutes are massive muscles, guys. We got to utilize them. That's why so many female track racers are very thick on the bottom, because they go fast and hard, and they use those muscles for power. And then you look at the men, and they just have thighs like as big as my waist, which is incredible. Track racing is a unique sport. Lots of explosive power. Cool to watch. If you've never been to Trexlertown, Pennsylvania, hopefully they can survive through this. In the summertime, they have Friday night races, and they are so fun to watch. T-Town's about maybe an hour, hour and a half for most of us. 3 minutes down. 1 minute to go in our 4-minute effort. Then they're going to get really easy. You guys are going to be like, what? We need a longer workout. Might consider that in the future. Put out my usual survey. Endurance, but endurance for longer. 30 seconds. Bending those elbows. Keeping the upper body still. 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. 30 seconds easy. Take a drink. So that's what you should get used to doing when you're on the road. Use a thing like every time you come to a stop sign or every time you get to the back of a pace line. Pick a point when you're riding to take that drink safely. All right, 3 minutes. You're going to stay in the small ring. This time, let's see if you go down 5 gears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little harder gear. It's only 3 minutes. Get back to 90. If within the first minute, your heart rate's jacking up too much, go to 1 easier gear. Still hold 90. Good, everybody looks really comfortable. I like it. We're doing 3 minutes. If your heart rate's jumping up and down like 2 or 3 beats, that's okay. It's hard to keep it dead on. It takes a lot of experience to get it dead on. A little harder gear. Same cadence, 90. Same heart rate. 1 minute down. 2 to go. We spent the day yesterday, like 4 hours of it, cleaning up our backyard. Holy moly. 4 garbage cans full of stuff and like limbs everywhere. So fortunately, halfway there, our neighbor said, oh, I'll take that up to recycling for you. We're like, sweet. Scored on that one. He probably just wants to get out of the house. Almost at 2 minutes. Nobody's pulling any faces on me today. 1 minute to go. If you're pulling faces, you're working too hard. This isn't a pulling faces kind of workout. Woo, sweaty. $30 seconds. That's it. Nice, Sandy. I saw you sit up. Take that deep breath. That'll get you to sit up. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Woo! 30 seconds easy. Always feels so good to get in that easy gear. All right, you only have 3 minutes of effort left. Wow, Nice. The 2-minute effort. Big ring, shifting down 1 or 2 to around your 23. Find that gear. Big ring, shifting down 1 or 2. If your front derailleur is rubbing just a bit, trim it with the inside of your left shifter. 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes. 90 cadence. I know you got this. Great job. 30 full minutes. That's what this is going to end up being. It's a nice block. Now, if after we get off, anybody that wants to keep going longer, you can do that ladder again on your own. But make sure you get off, fill up your water bottle, grab something, a gel, piece of fruit, something to get your energy level up. 50 seconds to go. Now is when you really got to focus on everything being right. Knees are in, feet are light, legs are consistent, shoulders are down, elbows bent, relaxed fingers. Now remember the drill. You're going to shift down a few harder gears to your small ring and then back up to that easy gear. 3, 2, 2 harder gears. Oh, look at me, I lost my chain. Got it back up. That's what'll happen. 30 seconds easy. All right, make this last minute solid one. And as you know, I like to do sometimes, you get to pick the gear. Last time for the minute, we did big ring, 23. You pick the gear that you think will work for you for a minute. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. In the first 30 seconds, feel yourself get right back to that zone you were in before. In the last 30 seconds, increase that zone to the top of your zone 3. So that'll be about 5 beats higher. The increase your cadence, that'll happen instantly. 30 seconds to go. Increase the cadence. Give yourself a little bit of work here for the last one. 15. Come on now. 5, 3, 2, 1. Shift down a few. Small ring, easy gear. Nice. Let's spin this out. Then we're going to do one last effort just to spin the legs a little bit. So give yourself a minute. You should be close to the end of your water bottle. Perfect way to start the day. It's nice to do a morning workout. So I'll just remind you guys again, if you need them, I know a lot of you are already doing Tuesday, Thursdays, now Sundays. In the future, I'm putting most of the workouts up on my YouTube page. Mara Miller Double Star Coaching, and you can access them there. I've already had, I think there's 7 videos, almost 100 views already for all those videos, which is pretty cool. And I've had a couple people tell me that they've done them again. So that's nice. I'm glad that I can offer that to you guys, or I can thank Zoom for it because they're recording it. All right, so one last effort I want everybody to do. This is where I want you to really get the cadence high, but the effort low. I want you to feel your legs as you're spinning them right now. Start to bring that cadence up. But I want you to feel the legs being light. And be in the correct bike position as you do this. So you're getting the proper positioning. So your legs are just spinning. Make it feel like you almost have that 45-pound spin flywheel that you have on a spin bike. The legs are just firing. And that wheel is pulling it around. Just keep it there. Hold it there as you cool down. Now check what cadence you have right now. If you have 100, keep it there. If you don't, get it to 100. If you want to follow my legs, I'm at about 100 right now. And the key to this is really feeling light. You guys know my mantra, light and strong. That's what I tell myself when I'm getting in a place where I don't feel too confident. That means get myself light, but be strong in my effort. And I know a few of you have stolen that in the past. That's okay with me. All right, bring your cadence down to 80. I want you to see how low and how slow 80 actually is. So I'm hoping that all of you, and some of you might not be able to do this, but for that 30-minute effort that we put in, if I were to go to a file and look at it, I'm hoping that your cadence average for that 30 minutes is going to be 90. So yesterday when I did 2 hours on the trainer, my average cadence was 92, because that's what I was going for. I was doing different efforts. I was sitting for some of it, standing, doing longer blocks, like 15 minutes worth, which is lots of endurance based. And I was using big ring, small ring, mixing it up. That's the same thing that you can be doing, is increasing these block efforts, which is going to increase your fitness. So we did 30 today. Maybe next time you do 45 or you do 35. Just keep building on what you built today. All right, I want you to keep the legs moving. You want to continue to cool down. You should feel yourself stop sweating. The sweating process is stopped for everybody, or most of us. Yeah, good. That means the body's cooling down properly. You might have to stand in front of your fan for a little bit afterwards. Keep the legs just feeling light. Don't even feel that pedal underneath your foot. You keep your feet just moving, spinning. All right, I'm going to stop, get off, open up the phone lines as I always do. And then you guys can start your day. Great job on this workout. Really good job.